See, these are the types of questions which every one of you know. And while answering these questions, you should understand that it is of which type and how many times you should read the question and how should you arrive at the answer. In a single MCQ type of question, you will have a single question followed by four options. And in this, two options will be not at all related to the question. They will be far away from the question. But two options will be somewhat near to the question. So you need to verify yourself that are you choosing the correct answer or not from those two near answers. So this is on the multiple choice type MCQ. The next one. This is the statement type of question. This is the question from 2021 paper, which is direct from the NCERT book. You can see that here the statement 1 and statement 2, they will be direct from the textbook and you will be based to answer whether which statement is correct and which statement is false. And these statement type of questions needs to be analyzed in such a way that they need to be read unto the last part, because in the last part of the statement they can place a twist. So AUG codon codes for methionine and phenylalanine. You can see there. So the codon AUG does not code for phenylalanine. Codon AUG codes only for what in the sense methionine. So the statement has a twist in the last part. So students have to read until the last part before arriving at the answer in these type of questions. That is very important. The next one. The assertion reason type. Here, the problem with the students in answering these type of questions is how to arrive at an answer in between 1 and 2. That is where reason is a correct explanation for assertion and where reason is not a correct explanation for assertion. The difference is you have to be alert in reading the assertion. Generally, when the assertion is true, the reason statement also will be having a part of the assertion in it, which gives you a clue that is it explaining completely or not. Sometimes, to be very clear in these kind of NEET papers, without as they want to avoid the ambiguity, they will be more or less technically giving such a particular assertion reason that almost every particular part of the assertion reason is very clear, and almost assertion will be true and reason will be false. That's what is the type of assertion reasons they present to avoid the ambiguity. So you should be able to have an opinion that the reason is having a capacity to explain the assertion or not by just reading it. So you should come to that conclusion before you put the answer. Next. This is matching type. This is what I was telling you. We are getting more number of questions from this. This type are appearing in the question paper. Nearly last year, we have got 10 questions. You can see what would be the nature of these questions. In the list one, small a, small b, small c, small d, all are what in the sense, each one is a MCQ type of question. And they need to be matched with in list 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So answering and matching is not answering a single question. Answering a matching is answering 4 MCQs. So you have to be very clear that you need to verify whether you're keeping a correct answer or not. I have seen students using marks in these type of questions because they will be in hurry to complete the biology and go for what in the sense physics and chemistry, so that they will have a difference here. The next one. So this also is the correct incorrect type which we were discussing. In 2019 and 2020, they have come nearly 8 and 10, I think, as if I remember in our analysis we presented. So regarding these type of questions, you should have a thorough reading knowledge of the NCERT textbook. Thorough reading knowledge of the NCERT text. Those sentences should be printed in your brain, and you should be able to read the entire 4 options before arriving at the answer. And you should also underline the question, whether they are asking the incorrect statement or the correct statement first. That should be the first point. The second one is in every statement, whichever point you identify it to be the most important one, which makes it correct or incorrect, you should be able to underline it because that will give you a clarity whether your answering nature is true or false when you analyze your result after the exam is over. For example, now if you see the four options that are presented here, say third option is correct. So you should be able to underline the key sentence why third option becomes to be correct. You should be able to underline it. Without underlining it, you should not go for a answering nature of the question. At the same time, you should be also able to underline the important points in the other three options, why they become wrong. That's also a point which you should answer. So while answering correct, incorrect questions, you should take into account 2 points. Number one, first is, do you have a thorough knowledge of those four sentences or not? If you don't have a knowledge of those sentences, then how to answer, we will discuss in the later part of the session. But while answering it, please underline the important areas, why the statement becomes true or false, apart from answering the important word in the question. The next one. See, this is what is the sequence type of question. This is more regularly repeated, the steps in the PCR, polymerase chain reaction, denaturation, annealing, and extension of the bright. So like this, there are many areas in the textbook where you will just observe the sequence will play a major role. I think you remember that we have Hershey and Chase experiment where infection, blending, centrifugation, that's also a sequence in the three steps of the Hershey and Chase experiment. They are also appearing in recent papers. Of course, it's a previous question also. So these kind of sequence type of questions also can come. So it would be better to have a thorough knowledge on the sequence type of questions that are there in the text when you are reading the chapter. That's also one important one. The next one. So I want here to just remind you, my dear students, that this is a very hot favorite question for NEET people, I think. NEET, for its brand name on the name of NEET, started in 2013. I find this question to be repeated in 2021 also, along with 2013. So this is a repeater. This is a repeater. This flowchart is the same flowchart which has appeared in 2013. And this once again appeared last year. And this flowchart is supposed to be direct textbook placement. So you can observe that these kind of flowcharts that are there in the textbook, they are given in the question paper to identify how much a student has a capacity to memorize the textbook and present himself or herself in the examination, whether he or she are following the textbook in terms of the diagrammatic approach or the flowcharts or the way in which the textbook is asking them to go through the content. So this flowchart type of question is a very important one in terms of the NEET papers. The next one. See, this is numerical. This is a numerical type of question. Once I shared you a question in analysis, Mendel's experiments years, and this is also a numerical type of question. So the typical embryo sac is a 7-celled, 8-nucleated structure. 7-celled, 8-nucleated structure. This is the 7-celled, 8-nucleated structure. This is the angiospermic embryo sac. So this is also one type. Otherwise, another numerical problem-based question will present you. The next slide gives you the clear meaning of that. So can we go to that? So this is what is the numerical based problem type of question. So these kind of problems can be allotted to any chapter. They can come from sexual reproduction in flowering plants with respect to meiosis and mitosis, or they can come with respect to the aspects of what in the sense even the nucleic acids. So they can come from any area with regard to the weightage of the chapter. So this is one numerical based problem in terms of the 89 content is given and you have to take the content of the thymine, guanine, and cytosine, a plain chart graph. So this model also is very, very important.